One of the sponsors of this bill, Representative Sheila Jackson-Lee. She joins us live from Houston. Representative, this bill hopes to, quote, direct the National Aeronautics and Space Administration to plan to return to the moon and develop a sustained human presence on the moon. Let's start with why you think we need to go back to the moon in the first place.
Well, Randy, first of all, may I offer my sympathy and concern as a member of the Homeland Security Committee to all those Americans suffering from these devastating weather events, and my sympathy to the losses that have occurred, and certainly to the people of Alabama. But I ask the question, why not? I'm reminded of President Kennedy's remarks in 1961 that challenged us to go to the moon, and how exciting it was, whether you read it in the history books, saw the old film of Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin in 1969 landing on the moon, and then 5 other missions that landed on the moon. The reason is because science is the work of the 21st century. Who other than the United States of America can be the creator, the innovator, the inspiration tool for the minds of men and women, the genius of men and women? Going to the moon provides for a better life on Earth, such as what we secured with imaging, fire detectors, fire equipment, the new technology in TVs. All of that came about through space exploration, and going into the outer orbit or onto the moon allowed us to think beyond our imagination and create tens of billions of scientific application and many, many, many jobs. I want America to be at her greatest. And frankly, it is important to restore and redesign NASA's mission for us to have a goal.
So where does the legislation stand?
The next generation of scientists. Right now, Randy, it has been introduced. I'm very glad to say it's bipartisan. Members come from all over the country. They're not just those of us who happen to be advocates of space exploration. We expect the membership on this legislation to grow, and we want to work with the White House. This has to be bipartisan. We believe if we can share with the president, who will be at the launch tomorrow, and I will join him at that launch, it will be such an exciting experience. I've experienced it. It's such a moving, emotional experience that you can't help but say, what else can we do? How else can we make America greater? And I want America to be great, not for itself and not for greatness, but to share this technology with the world. I just came from the Texas Children's Hospital and walked through the Echo Lab. It's a lab formulated after NASA.
Right.
There are astronaut doctors who test children's heart disease through the technology that they have secured from their research in space. What a moving experience. And so I want America to be back at that, and I want us to be at the top of our game, if you will. And the Real Space Act allows us to refocus on going to the moon again.
Before we run out of time, I want to ask you about something else, also on the radar, also involving more legislation. The space shuttle is retiring. As you know, the 4 shuttles going to Los Angeles, to Florida, to Washington, and New York City. You support now a new bill that would bring one of the shuttles to Houston. Why is that so important?
You know, I think we should all be in the business of looking forward and looking at a new mission for NASA, but at the same time, there's something about legacy and heart and loss. Randy, I want you to know I don't think any city equates to Houston in terms of the loss of treasure of those dear souls who flew into space as American heroes and did not come back. In addition, this is a place where we actually heard and spoke to those who landed on the moon. We have the control center, the command site, if you will, for guiding astronauts in all of the space exploration efforts that they ever made. Houston has given a great debt to the United States of America. It's not political. It's about the legacy of this great city, and we wish the other cities well, but we believe the legislation that I've introduced to get one of those particular shuttles, those orbiters, on loan for 15 years to this great city. Let us be Americans that share and care. And though we're going forward, redefining NASA's mission, going to the moon, I believe that the orbiter in Houston will be a